Sports Talk on a Tuesday afternoon. Welcome. Thanks for being a part of the program. Awesome hearing all that audio from Dabo Swanny and thinking about what I guess was up until just a couple of hours ago a potential top 5 matchup in Charlotte to open the season. Now that's official. Yeah, that's right. You saw it. It's the Coaches Poll edition of the program, and your Clemson Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs are both ranked in the preseason polls for the coaches inside the top 5. We'll give you the rundown of that in just a minute. And again, it is always fun to fight and battle the Georgia Bulldogs. But boy, is it super sweet to do it in a top 5 display. Alabama picking up where they left off at the top of the charts, the top of the mark of the 65 Coaches Poll first place votes. Roll Tide Nation picked up 63 of them, sitting there at number 1 in the preseason Coaches Poll rankings. Your Clemson Tigers check in at number 2 overall, gaining no first place votes. The third ranked team in all of the land, according to the coaches, the Oklahoma Sooners. That's right. Spencer Rattler and the boys racking up third place and 2 first place votes. The only other first place votes that went to any other team. Number 4 on that list, the Ohio State Buckeyes. And sitting there at number 5, the Hairy Dogs from Georgia hunkering down as Kirby Smart's squad comes in at number 5. So in the coaches poll, it'll be a number 2 Clemson team versus a number 5 Georgia team in the season opener. Still awaiting what the AP polls will look like. Number 6, Texas A&M is where the Aggies will sit. 7 is Notre Dame. 8, Iowa State. Number 9, the North Carolina Tar Heels. So 2 ACC teams inside the top 10, and Cincinnati rounds out the top 10. Number 11 is Florida. Oregon is 12th. LSU checks in at 13, while Southern Cal is 14. Wisconsin's 15th in the country. The Miami Hurricanes are 16. That's 3 ACC teams inside the top 16. Not terrible for this league. I'll be honest with you on that front. We can talk about that later. Indiana at 17, Iowa at 18, Texas at 19, and Penn State rounds out the top 20. Washington, the Huskies are 21. Oklahoma State, 22. Louisiana Monroe, 23. Coastal Carolina, 24. The Chanticleers showing up in the top 25 of the preseason polls. And then number 25, Ole Miss, rounding it out. Other schools receiving votes of note. Auburn checks in at what would be, I guess, 29th in the polls, picking up 84 votes out of the SEC. And then a little bit further down the list, NC State picks up 27 votes. So that's a quick look at the coaches poll. And again, a matchup between the Tigers and the Georgia Bulldogs will be officially a top 5 matchup in the coaches poll. And honestly, no reason not to think that it won't be a top 5 matchup in the AP poll as well. Again, you heard the comments from Dabo Swanny. We got a fantastic article coming up here in just a little bit. On on the website about Dabo Swanny and his relationship with Coach Bowden. Terry says it is time to spell. And then Terry, I'm going to be honest with you, buddy. You scared me a little bit with that one because he said learn to spell. To go Edition. The poll update edition. What did I misspell, Terry? Terry Simmons says learn to spell. Not sure what I misspelled. You scared me for a minute, Terry, but I don't see anything misspelled. Anthony chimes in. He shared the show. Anthony, we're going to put you in the penalty box for that. And then if anyone else hanging out with us now can tell me what I misspelled, I'd love to know. I honestly don't know. But again, for the Clemson Tigers, just sitting here today and thinking about what that matchup will be like in Charlotte now that you know it's official. Like, you kind of thought it was official, and I think that speaks volumes about both of these programs and most of the projections out there that Georgia will take on Alabama for the SEC championship at the back end of the season. Most of the projections out there that Clemson will take on someone, most likely North Carolina, again, a top 10 team from the ACC in the ACC championship game. But you didn't know for certain. And again, Georgia teetering right there on the outside of this top five. Again, sitting there at number 5, just ahead of Texas A&M. And, you know, I listen, there's nothing less significant than the preseason rankings. Dabo Swanny and Nick Saban and all the great coaches will tell you that. But you got to imagine just a little bit of frustration is mounting in College Station because, one, they felt like a year ago when they finished just outside the top 4 that they were deserving of being in the college football playoff. And again, it's not about where you start, it's where you finish. But it's got to feel a little bit like a slight to the Aggie faithful that they're sitting behind Georgia in this preseason coaches poll. And again, Alabama dominating it, getting 63 of the 65 first place votes, as well they should. But the thing to remember about all of these teams really in the top 4, except for Oklahoma with Spencer Rattler, who is still inexperienced in and of his own right, Clemson, Alabama, and Ohio State, they're all going to break in new quarterbacks this season. It's all new for those teams, essentially, especially 3 of the 4. And like I said, Spencer Rattler, you saw the issues he had early on in his career at Oklahoma last season and how he developed and got better. And again, if you're a Buckeye, a Tiger, or a Crimson Tide fan, let's just call it what it is. You think you know, and you hope you know, but until the lights have to be on for a 12-game regular season, you really don't know. And that's the thing that I said earlier this week and in previous weeks about this matchup between Clemson with Clemson and Georgia is the fact that these two teams, whoever wins the game, the quarterback of that respective team could be the front runner for the Heisman Trophy early on. All right, with a quick break, we'll come back with more right after this.
Time to upgrade your TV and soundbar with August Savings Week exclusively at Sam's Club. Immerse yourself in the infinite possibilities of 4K streaming in award-winning quantum color with the all-new Vizio